Back on Cards TV with swimming and diving with head coach Arthur Albiero. My name is Sean Moth. Great to see you again. And coach, we metaphorically dive right in with the big rivalry meet at Kentucky. You spoke on last week's show that you definitely had some concerns because of the rivalry. It was their senior day, and obviously the crowd can play an advantage. It turns out there's a lot of red in the stands, which is the first piece of good news. Then the second piece of good news, obviously, is that you managed to sweep, but it didn't start so well for you and the Cardinals.
No, and I think you touched on a great point. I think, you know, it was really neat for us to have at least half of the stands was pure red, and our group was awesome. And I'm really thankful for the fans that came out and you know, took the time to come. It's become a tradition now, and, and that's a great situation for us and great for our team. It certainly steps our level of competition, you know. And you're right, things didn't start so well. You know, we had a relay disqualify with a -01. On the relay touchpad, so it's by rule. There's no argument on that. Yep. And you know, that's always not the way you want to start the meet. But I never felt the way we swam. I felt we swam well enough that we were ready to go. And you know, and then from that point on, I think our women really took charge and took care of business all the way through.
How do the teams play off of each other? Because while they are separate in terms of the scoring, you're still the Cardinals. I mean, it's got to be an interesting dynamic that you can maybe have one team inspire the other.
Absolutely, and that's what we hope, you know. And at the same token, I think that's the challenge that we always try to inspire them to. You know, the women have their women issues as a team, and they have the things they have to deal with, and how their dynamics, you know. And then there's the men. But at the same token, you know, when we're in a championship situation or we're in a meet like that where, you know, I mean, I expect everybody cheering, I mean, and everybody is on their feet, you know. Either, we always talk about there's only a few places you can be. Either you're racing, you're warming down, you're warming up, or you're cheering.
Sure.
And this group does a great job. But that's because they, you know, there's a close bond in this team, and everybody cares, and everybody wants to see each other succeed.
Let's talk about some of the performances on the women's side that stood out. I know that Rainey had a great weekend last weekend, and she followed it up with another solid performance.
Yes, she did, and you know, she really found a way. I think the biggest thing I see, her training level has certainly stepped up, but her confidence in swimming. You know, she was voted a captain this year. As a junior, she was a little bit uneasy about it at first, but you can see she's more comfortable in that role, and she's performing like a leader. Good. And the team needs that. You know, Therese Bergstrom had also a great meet, won a couple events, 100 and 200 breast, and they really set the tone. You know, I mean, they're also, both of them are on our relay, so I think it just, you know, when they're hot like that, it just kind of puts everybody at peace, and the team goes from there.
On the men's side, you hate to be the broken record, but I keep seeing Carlos Almeida's name. Obviously, there's a reason behind that.
Yeah, you know, I was pleased with the way he swam, you know, especially his 100 breast. He was a little disappointed on the relay. You know, they touched us out on the relay, and he felt responsible for it. And he swam a good leg, which is a couple little hundreds here and there, you know. But at the same token, I think his 100 breast was really good. And in the 200, you know, unfortunately, he didn't have a ton of competition. And I wish he would have at the end there to force him a little bit. But, you know, I think he's in a great place right now. You know, he was a little bit under the weather in the week, and to be able to get up and just race because that's what the team needed him to do, and perform really well. Yeah,
some other men that maybe stood out in the meet?
You know, Pedro Oliveira continues to be, you know, on a good track. I mean, also some very good, probably his best season, 200 back and 200 fly, and really kind of having more and more of an understanding of where he needs to be from a short course standpoint. We know he's a phenomenal long course swimmer, but it's a different race. You know, the short course, the athleticism, the walls come really fast, as he says, you know, so we got to be quick about it. And I see the progress, you know, and I think that's exactly what we wanted to see him at this point of the season.
So now you turn your final dual meet focus to a big senior weekend for you at Ralph Wright Natatorium. It's coming up on Friday at 5 o'clock. It'll be Indiana University and Virginia Tech, and there's going to be some, I guess, 6 ranked teams at the pool. This is a great weekend.
It's going to be a fun environment, you know. And before I answer that, I was thinking about this for a second here. You know, Brendan Andrews, I think it's definitely something that he impressed me.
Sure.
Yeah, he was pretty sick in the beginning of the week. He missed a couple of days of practice. We didn't even know if we're going to have him at the meet, and he stepped up big. You know, and his 100 back has become a great race. It's not one of his top 3 races, but it's one that we needed him to step up this year. And he delivered again, and then won the 100 free, and had a great lag at the end on the relay. Almost caught him, but you know, he's somebody that we expect a lot of, and come to see him perform and continue to improve. But back to your point, I think this Friday is exciting. I mean, that's what you want as a head coach. That was the goal from the beginnings, to set up a great weekend. You know, we have great respect for Indiana. We had a good competition last year. Fortunate enough, the men won the meet. The women came down to the wire, really, the last 2 races. So we expect it to be a close meet. They're a very good team. They're ranked a little bit higher than us right now, and they earned that. It's not a freebie. So they have performed across the board to deserve those rankings. And in Virginia Tech, it's the last time we swam Virginia Tech was my very first year here. It's about 7 years ago, and their coaching staff, they're friends of ours, and we'll look forward to a good matchup. I mean, it'll be a great weekend of racing, senior day for us. I mean, it's my biggest concern in all that is just emotionally, it's a bit of a train wreck.
Yeah.
For our kids to go through that realization that this is your final home meet.
Sure. And
then 5 seconds later, you got to get up and swim really fast because that's what we need, And so they know about it. We talk about it, but it's definitely something that I think sometimes it catches you by surprise a little bit.
Well, we'd love to see you out there a little early, maybe 4:30 at the Ralph Wright Auditorium to cheer on the Cardinals. I want to touch on just a few other things. Obviously, you're coaching a team, right? 2 teams right now. But in the same light, you're still continuing to recruit athletes, and with that, some of your signees are competing at a very high level, and I know a couple of those made some headlines recently.
Yeah, and I think this class, we shall see when the rankings come out, but, that was one of our goals, and to put a class that would be maybe top 10 in the country, and I think this class should be. And I think the headliner of that class is Tanya Killian, who won 3 events at the Junior National Championship not too long ago here in December. 2 of those in junior national record, and it's a really neat story. And Tanya has actually dual citizenship. Her dad's from Finland.
Oh, okay.
So she potentially could be somebody to represent Finland, international competition too. But I mean, she's junior national is a serious meet, and she won both of those races, 200 IM, 400 IM.
Wow. Convincingly,
and the 200 fly also. So I think she'll be a fantastic addition from day one. More importantly, personality-wise, just what you want in a student athlete.
Yeah.
A student first and foremost, a great student, but somebody who is coming with a burning desire to get better. And as a coach, that's why I get out of bed for.
No question. Well, let's also touch on some hidden talents, I might say. The student athletes had their inaugural talent show, and both the men and the women were represented. I think there were 9 teams of the 23 here at U of L, but both of your teams competed. The women were in a tough spot. They were the opening act, so it's always a lot of pressure, but your men come away with the victory, and I have to say I was able to MC the event, and we'll drop some video in here, but a synchronized swimming program. It's kind of neat to see those guys bond and have some fun with it.
And I didn't know a whole lot about it. And one day we came into the conference room for one of our staff meetings, and I saw a lot of drawings on the board, and I couldn't understand a lot of X's in A, B, C, D formats, and we were just a little bit puzzled. And then I come to find out that they were having meetings about how they were going to go about this the talent show. And I think I was really proud of that, and it's fun. But what I really enjoyed is the fact that they embraced it. They were good sports about it, and they practiced, and they wanted to go in there and compete. And I think that's what you're going to get in this talent show. Is it's going to grow as you put all these talented athletes that all love to win, and this thing's going to escalate. So it's going to be exciting for the years to come. But the first trophy is in our office right now.
It is, and it's an impressive trophy. It's a giant goblet, and there was some work that was put into that. The final note before I let you go: great article on you in the Courier Journal locally, and I just want to encourage fans, if you didn't get a chance to see it locally, I would recommend going online to get to know Coach Albiero a little better. A bit of a preview on the Kentucky match, but I just wanted to compliment you. I know you've had a rough road here. You've had some great times, and we'd love to keep you for a long time, but that was just a well-done piece of work right there.
Thank you very much, and I was very humbled by that, and certainly appreciative, and the number of people that really made a point to reach out to us and me and my family, and I think we love this place. We love Louisville, and as I said in the article, it started as let's try this out, let's see how it goes, to this is a lifetime deal for us. I mean, we want to be here as long as they want to have me, so we love it.
I think it's going to be a long time. Exciting meet on Friday. We'd love to have you out there. For Coach Arthur Albiero, my name is Sean Moth. We will talk to you next week, and it'll be right here on CardsTV.